Thank you so much, Kurt. Good to be with all of you again this evening, and I'm extremely thrilled to be sitting here with the most fabulous R.O.C. alum, Tristan Warmsley. First of all, I love your name.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful name, and it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
And look, we didn't know this was going to happen, but we're already in sync in our outfits. So listen, you have come full circle. Little girl at R.O.C., and now you work for R.O.C. Tell me about what you're doing now.
So I'm the site coordinator at Little Viz, which is very fun because I went to Little Viz. So it's been full circle, and a lot of the teachers that used to be my teachers are there still. So it's been interesting, yeah.
I mean, really, seriously, full circle. So, well, let's talk about, before we get to what you're doing now, Little Viz. I love that. I didn't know it was called Little Viz. So you first started participating in R.O.C. programs in the first grade?
Yes, I went to Skill Drills, where I actually met Kurt. Skill Drills is basically a program to get the kids in our community out to be active and do some physical activities. So we're usually doing basketball, soccer, and volleyball. And I did all three, and now I also teach all three. Yeah.
As well you should.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. R.O.C. is so important to the kids of Viz Valley. Can you talk a little bit about the challenges that you faced growing up there?
Yeah, I think a lot of the challenges that I face are not uncommon in our area. So a lot of what I went through is probably what a lot of the other kids was, which is food insecurities, housing insecurities. Gun violence is prevalent in our community.
And I was reading that you said violence doesn't really trigger you anymore because you've kind of become numb to it, having lived through so much of it. Is that true?
Yeah, exactly. And I think I very commonly say it's not uncommon in our area because it's true.
Yeah.
And so much of it happens that it just becomes another thing, which is sad. Every time that we hear someone getting shot, it should be a big thing. And it should be something that we're rallying against, but it's become this thing where it's that's sad. Now what do I do?
Right,
yeah.
Right.
It's pretty widespread.
I read, I think you said that people don't bet on us to get out of Viz Valley.
Yep. I think a lot of people make assumptions that our education isn't great there and that we're not given the tools necessary to succeed. So when you think of someone who goes to Little Viz or Big Viz, you're not thinking of Ivy League schools or great high schools. You're thinking of more so community colleges, and that there's nothing wrong with community colleges, first of all, but that's just the assumption is that that's kind of the pipeline where it's Little Viz, Big Viz, high school, and that's it, or Little Viz, Big Viz, community college at best. And there's a lot of great people who come out of the Visitacion Valley area, and like you said, they don't bet on us, and they should.
They absolutely should. Well, it really broke my heart when I read that, but I felt all of that in my soul. I felt you saying that all in my soul because of the challenges in the community. And that's where R.O.C. comes in to give you all opportunities you may never have experienced before.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about some things that you did as a R.O.C. kid that you may not have had the chance to do?
Yeah, well, particularly skill drills. My mom took me there when I was young, which wasn't really common with Samoan communities.
Right, there's the whole cultural impact of it too, sure.
It's worrying about safety almost, as well as we're kind of everything stays in the family. So everything you learn is family or church. So it was a lot for her to actually take me to these things and consistently. So I think it was an honor that my mom took me to do skill drills. I wouldn't have otherwise done something like that.
Right.
And everything just feels so greater than life or bigger than life with R.O.C. in particular that, I don't know, they created a lot of childhood memories that I don't think I would have otherwise got.
That's so lovely. Tell me some other ways that R.O.C. Helped you through Little Viz and Big Viz and some of the skills that you learned, because I was reading that you really had to grow up really fast and take on a lot of adult responsibilities really fast. How did what you learned at R.O.C. help you with all of that?
I think that I didn't get much of an opportunity to have a childhood because I had to grow up fast. my dad passed away when I was in second grade, so like all paperwork kind of fell on me, like taxes. Like it's like this ongoing running joke that I'm my family's accountant because I do everyone's taxes every tax season, as well as like medical paperwork or like health insurance, things like that. Like I knew how to do that when I was in elementary school.
That's bananas.
Yeah, and I just had to grow up fast, and I think the support that I got from R.O.C. was the ability to be a child.
Yeah.
Because at home or everywhere else, it was like you're growing up so fast, and a lot of people in my community are like that as well. So that's where R.O.C. really came into play, was that like I just got to be myself for a couple hours.
You got to be a kid.
I got to just like enjoy some enrichments and not think of this thing that I shouldn't have been doing anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was primarily what R.O.C.'s purpose was. And I think we still do that a lot for kids now, is that we're really making sure that kids are enjoying their childhood while they're still children.
That's so profound what you just said, that you had a chance to be a child with all the distractions in the Viz Valley community and, you know, surrounded by violence and drugs and all kinds of challenges and everything. R.O.C. gives you an opportunity to be a kid. That's very, very impactful. And now you're working with kids.
Yep.
As a R.O.C. staff member.
Yep.
Tell us what you're doing now at Little Viz.
So I am the site coordinator at Little Viz now, so I get to do all the planning for after-school program and implement things that I feel like our students would enjoy. Like I'm really focusing on culturally responsive practices this year and making sure that we're serving them with things that actually interest them and might pertain to them. Because in everyday academics, it's almost always just textbook, and it's nothing that they can see themselves in. So R.O.C. is really big on representation and aligning, like specifically Heritage Months. Like we align our curriculum with Heritage Months.
That's beautiful. That's really, really wonderful. What, from your experiences as a R.O.C. kid, are you able to bring to your job now?
Oh, it's like looking in the mirror sometimes, because you see a student do something that I might have done when I was that age, and I'm like, wow. Like, first of all, I put my R.O.C. teacher through that, but now I can understand why they're doing it and what's going on in the community and at home. And I think that I have a great connection to, I guess, the community, because a lot of the time you see a student's behavior and you're just assuming that a student is bad. But then when you're from the community, you know exactly what's going on. Like, you know the news, who has been hurt. Yeah, and I think that's how I relate to our students, is that they're a little me.
Yeah. And they can see themselves in you.
Yes.
Because representation does matter.
Yes.
I say it every day.
Yes. It's been so fun seeing our Polynesian students that I don't know yet. They'll stop in the hallway and they look at me. I'm like, hi, I'm Miss Tris. And they'll just stare at me for a little bit before they even start talking. And I think it's because they don't really see a lot of Polynesian teachers. So now that they're finally seeing one, it's almost a trip to them.
Let's talk about you going to Lowell. Tell me about that whole situation. And was that, we talked about culture shock before.
Yeah.
Culture shock at Lowell?
Yeah, definitely.
Big time,
because
huh?
I came from an area that was so diverse. And then switching over to Lowell, and like how hard the curriculum was there, was nothing that I had ever experienced before. But my R.O.C. teachers were actually the ones that helped me fill out the application, because it's almost like a personal statement. It was very college-like. You fill out the application. Why do you want to go to Lowell? Like, what has impacted you in your life? And a lot of people have like families or parents at home that will help them fill it out. But I was doing this at R.O.C.
Yeah.
Like during power hour, which is like our homework time, like my R.O.C. teachers were the one looking through it, proofreading it, like letting me know what they thought. So, and it was actually also my R.O.C. teachers who encouraged me to go. Yeah. So I see.
Were you a little hesitant about Lowell? Were you a little intimidated by it?
I wasn't hesitant, but I think that other people were probably hesitant, from like a kid in Viz Valley trying to go to Lowell. They don't think that the curriculum matches up. Like, they think the level of learning at Viz is like this, and then Lowell's right here.
But you were confident.
Oh, yeah. I knew that I could get into Lowell, and that's why I applied.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people who assumed that I couldn't, but that's why I went, because I wanted to show them that I could, that I would get in.
That's fantastic. And I really appreciate you sharing all of this, because this is why we want you to give so generously tonight. You see how I did that right there? I was just trying to slide that in. But it's really true. And that's why I'm so honored to serve on the advisory board. You're a living testament to what kids that go through the R.O.C.K program can become and go on to become. So what, just in a nutshell, does R.O.C.K mean to you, having started as a first grader and now being part of the staff and all that you have already accomplished? What is, I know R.O.C.K is in your heart.
Yeah, I think when I reflect back on my life, R.O.C.K has been there almost every step of the way. I started it when I was in first grade, and now as a 25-year-old, I'm the psych coordinator at Little Viz. So I can't even remember a moment where I wasn't connected back to R.O.C. Like, even when I was in college, I was still talking to, like, my old R.O.C teachers, like Erica and Loda and all of them, and we're just, I don't know, everything's always been rooted in R.O.C.
Right,
yeah.
Right. And they're always there for you, even after graduation, right? This is a relationship that continues.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I love, is that even though, like, our kids are growing older and eventually will be in high school and college, there's always been something that rounded me back here, and it's like the alumni events was always great to come back to and see all my old classmates. That's what I mean. It's like I'm sitting here right now reflecting on my life, and I'm like, when did I not have something to do with R.O.C.K?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. It's just been a pleasure meeting you. And again, this is what R.O.C.K is all about right here. You're hearing it firsthand, and we want to continue to have more Tristans in this world that go on and go back to R.O.C.K and feed the souls of the kids that are there now. And I'm just really proud of you. And what's ahead for you? What else do you see in your future?
I would love to stay in community work. I'm starting my journey in community work, and I'm interested to see where it goes. But it's been great to, like, circle back with my community members, and, like, I feel like everywhere I'm going in the Visitacion Valley area, I'm meeting someone who also works in community work. So we'll see. It's to come, I guess.
Yeah, it is to come. Well, the sky's the limit for you, honey.
Yes, it is.
But I'm quite confident whatever it is that you're going to be doing is you will impact your community one way or the other, no matter what the future holds for you. And it's so important. Community is so important nowadays more than ever.
Yes.
Because it's getting scary out there. We got to hold on to each other. All right. Well, it's just been a pleasure speaking with you and getting to meet you and wear our matching black outfits. And you have inspired me today. I want you to know that. You really have.
Thank you.
You took on a lot as a little girl, and look at you now. It's amazing. Congratulations. Keep up the good work. And thanks for talking to me.
Thank you so much.
Okay.